For the past year, I've been trying to produce content I enjoy on this YouTube channel. Starting way back in 2017 with random matches of Super Smash Bros. To more edited content that I can look back on and be proud of how much effort I put into creating videos. I really enjoy content creation, even if I am just a small channel making videos for practically no one. And like a lot of people on this platform, I hope to somehow turn it into a career option. Back when I had no ways of creating videos, I turned to writing online blogs about my interests instead. That being completely video game related blogs where I write about whatever I can regarding the topic, and then not spell checking anything. All these blogs can be found on one little app known as Amino. In the nicest way possible, Amino is a dumpster fire of a social media platform. For those unaware of what this app is, Amino is a social media app self-proclaimed as an ecosystem of communities dedicated to shared interests. And to describe it not in corporate buzzwords, it's just Reddit with a more bubbly coat of paint. You can join different communities based on whatever interests you, and talk to other people who share that same interest. It could be really broad topics like video games and anime, or really specific topics like a specific book-based community, or wolf pack, feral horse dog ERP. What the fuck? Without a doubt, there is a borderline community for everything you could think of. I personally went towards the gaming communities, such as Smash Bros. And Pokemon. But one community I spent my time the most in was the Nintendo Switch Amino. But I'll talk about that community in another video. As for the Amino map itself, it's no secret that this is one of the worst possible choices of a social media. Plenty of other people have shared their opinions on Amino, and spoilers, most of them have almost no positive things to say. Whether it's the useless new features Team Amino kept adding that no one liked, or maybe it's the fact that the app started to be littered with ads, or the fact that it just doesn't work half the time. The list of Amino's problems is endless. All the videos on YouTube talking about how bad Amino is, all the talk about things I completely agree with. But out of all the YouTube videos I watch, it seemed like a lot of them didn't detail what it was like as a moderator on there. So allow me, a leader, a former staff member of the Nintendo Switch Amino exclamation point, for about 5 years to describe what it was like being a mod. Amino separated mods into 3 sections. There are curators, who could do simple mod actions like disabling posts and chats, then leaders, which had more severe actions like being able to fully ban members, and lastly the agent leader, the person who actually owns the designated community itself. I think overall this way of moderating did work, but curators in particular had little to no power. We wish curators had some powers leaders had, and even at times we wish normal leaders had some powers that agent leader had. To specify, let me quickly break down what a curator can do and what a leader can do. Curators can disable blogs and chats, delete comments, feature blogs, add or remove blogs from topic categories, and approve wiki submissions. Leaders can do those actions, but they have plenty more capabilities, those being changing the Amino's features and appearance, adjust privacy settings, add or remove curators, give strikes, ban members, manage flagged content, edit custom titles, manage topic and wiki categories, and lastly send a broadcast. It's no surprise that leaders would naturally be given more permissions than curators, since that's the whole point of the different mod statuses. But some of the leaders' actions have no reason to be exclusive. Having flagged content be leader exclusive I can kind of understand, but for the most part it's used for simply just telling the staff of a post that should be disabled or a member that was just being rude. Things that curators could definitely easily help with. And if something they can't, they just notify a leader or wait until one takes care of it. Not being able to hand out custom titles is a really weird one. It's not like these fancy little nameplates on a member's profile would impact the Amino in a bad way, so why make it so leaders can only do it? There are plenty of times where we would have a member requesting title to a curator, who would just point them to a leader instead. The other two I can kind of understand more why they might not be given to curators, so I won't go into detail about them, though we really did wish curators could send broadcasts too. As for actually moderating on Amino, it wasn't the worst, assuming that Amino was working and didn't just randomly break things that mod teams needed in order to actually function. One such example is blog broadcasting. As just said, leaders can send a push notification to every member of the community. So let's say a mod team was making changes to their rules or updating their staff. That's something important that would be used as a broadcast. Now, I don't know if it was just us that had this problem, but at some point broadcasts just stopped working. We would send a broadcast to Team Amino that we wanted to push out, and it would take hours to actually go through. In this chat message exchange I found, I talked about how I wanted to broadcast a post 15 hours ago, and Team Amino did nothing. On the rare occasion, broadcasts would actually go through. At least we were told they did. Team Amino would just lie about broadcasts working. It was pretty obvious to us when the designated ACM app would say one was pushed out to members, but none of us would get the notification and the member count wouldn't increase. At some point, we genuinely thought Team Amino just didn't like us. Seeing these old messages how one of our curators, Josh, said he got 3 leader submitted broadcasts from Nintendo Amino in one day, whereas we would be lucky to get 1 out. Another big asset to the staff team is the mod history. A full history of every single action a moderator was done. It's very useful for finding the time of when a blog was featured, when a member was banned, and etc. Though I guess the times where it would be completely down and unusable for days, if not weeks, would make it a little bit less useful. That was super fun. Not being able to know who's doing what action or at what time something occurred made everything so difficult. For us on the Nintendo Switch Amino explanation point, we used the mod history the most to easily check when the last post was featured. We always tried to feature a new post every 3 hours, so when the mod history would go down, we would just have to keep count ourselves and oftentimes forget about the whole thing entirely. Amino not working as it should is pretty much the main reason why some mod actions would become completely unusable. The app itself was breaking, and it was noticeable. I felt like Team Amino just didn't care. Speaking of Team Amino, I've been referring to Team Amino or TA this whole time without probably saying who they are, but you could probably guess. They run the Amino app itself, the actual developers, at least I think. As far as I know, Team Amino is just an entity, a being that makes decisions.
Looks like it's up to me to take care of ugly hair.
There are some members of communities that have a special tag under their profile picture to state that they are part of Team Amino. From what I understand, there's specific individuals from Team Amino that help make moderate actions in communities. For us on SA, and I think a lot of general gaming communities, we had someone called Bird Up. If memory serves me correctly, the Bird Up person ended up quitting their Amino job, and that left us with no one. Since then, we just didn't have anyone overseeing us for years. It also just kind of feels like Team Amino is very biased towards certain aminos. I'm sure Team Amino would rather advertise the aminos that give them the most revenue, like anime and Pokemon Amino. But I do wish they would at least attempt to help smaller communities. Not in some grand way that makes them have to spend money, but just small advertisements in the app. I vividly remember at some point, me and the rest of the team were getting very desperate to keep the Nintendo Switch Amino explanation point from losing activity. So we tried contacting Team Amino to see if we could get an advert on the main Amino app, a banner that would showcase us to everyone that loaded it up. That never happened though, saying only some communities get that specialty. I know for a fact some Aminos that were not as popular as us got advertised on there, so I don't know what they meant. Even now as I type this script, there's a banner for Naruto Multiverse Amino. No disrespect towards that Amino and its members, I just wanted to mention to say that I think Team Amino lied. We even considered just grouping our own money and paying for an advertisement through some YouTuber. We didn't go through with it, but it was a genuine idea we had. It's been said a lot of times already that there are a multitude of problems with Amino. The app has been on fire and slowly burning away for years now. It started to run poorly, ads would be littered everywhere, and that stupid Amino Plus subscription service. As if anyone would actually put money into this app. Okay, I see what you're trying to say. But without a doubt, the biggest problem Amino has right now are scam bots. Just for reference, if you were to join Amino now and join a community, you will immediately notice that pretty much every community is locked. All super big gaming communities like Pokemon, the general video games Amino are locked. Decently sized communities like Smash Bros. And Danganronpa Amino are also this. Even just looking up anime, the first 5 Amino listed are all locked. Dragon Ball, Naruto, My Hero are all the same. All of this is because of scam bots that just plague communities because Team Amino does nothing about them. I was able to experience it as a normal member too. I joined the Spanish anime Amino for the sole reason of getting a Persona 5 profile frame. It has 3 million members and isn't locked down, so it's probably a big target for scam bots. Within the first 24 hours of being there, I got invited to 56 scam group chats. I'm amazed by how bad the scam bot problem is. It's horrendous. Obviously the best way to avoid these bots is just to join one of the locked communities, but because they're locked, you can't gauge what the Amino is like before joining. You can't check how active it is. There is an activity bar in each community, but it's super inaccurate. I guess it's a Super Smash Amino has 6 bars worth of activity. In reality it should have 0. Some Amino that are locked up don't even bother letting in new members. Even today on Nintendo Switch Amino explanation point, after the Amino's been completely archived and shut down, there are still people requesting to join. They don't know that the Amino is this way, so they just request hoping to get in. I have zero intentions of ever using amino regularly again, and frankly nobody should in the first place. Team Amino has clearly chosen to not put in the effort and support Amino fully. It's sad, really. The app had a lot of potential. It could have been really great. I do think it's really funny seeing the fall off of official Team Amino announcement blogs. Their old announcements would get 10,000 to 40,000 likes. Nowadays they're lucky to break 2,000, using AI generated image for them too. As if I need another reason to hate Team Amino. Team Amino did add one really cool addition after I left, and it's community-specific profile frames. I mentioned earlier that the Spanish anime Amino has a Persona 5 profile frame. Zelda Amino has one, and I'm sure some others do too. Don't even need their stupid subscription service to use them, thankfully. At this point I have little to no hope for Amino. It just has gotten worse over time, and I wouldn't be surprised if it completely dies out in the next couple years. I made my memories on there, met some awesome friends, and that's all I need to remember the app on a positive note. So as long as I ignore the app barely working, and the scam bots, and all the gory images, and the subscription service, and the fast battery drainage, and the lack of Team Amino support. Thank you all for watching. I made this video for the sole reason of another Amino video I wanted to make. I just thought it'd be best to make a video covering the app in general too. Until then, I'll see you later. Also hi, I'm Kerbo the Burbo. You might know me from such things as Red Dead... FUCK! Also hi, I'm Kerbo. I voiced this thing. And thanks for watching. Maximinium, he's a fine man, but he forced me to do this while I have COVID, so blame him. No.